Hello, it's Riikka Kovasin here with the third and final episode of the gesso series. In previous versions I've tackled white and clear gesso, so this episode is all about the black gesso. Naturally you can try different gessos with different techniques. It doesn't have to be the particular gesso I've used for that technique. I just chose the technique so that I can display everything and with every gesso. So for example, this priming thing, every gesso does that because they are primers. With black gesso, I find it easy if I'm doing a really dimensional composition to do the black layer first because it's so tedious to try to get, for example, little gaps of lace black after I've had all the dimensional parts done. So layer first and then start building the composition. The gesso I'm working with is again heavy body, so it's really thick. And if it seems too thick, then you can use a wet brush, for example, to make it more fluid and make it, well, easier to apply. But there's so many good things of using a heavy body gesso. So, for example, when doing dimensional stenciling, you don't have to thicken the gesso. It will make a nice crisp image without any additions. As these gessos are acrylic based, which I'm using in these tags, I'm able to boil the gesso. So I'm making the stenciled layer like in the first one, but this time I'm taking a heat tool and really overheating the medium so it starts bubbling and boils. So you have this lovely dimensional effect. I'm using a stencil for the tag to create the dimensional bubbling effect, but you could use just layer of gesso. More bubbles when the layer is thicker and little bubbles when there's just a thin layer of gesso. You can use gesso also kind of a fabric hardener, not like the actual mediums that make the fabric rock solid, but something airy and fluffy like gauze. You can turn that into such a medium that it holds its shape. So you just add enough gesso to kind of saturate the whole piece, the whole cloth, and then you can use the adhesive part of the primer to attach that to your project, and then you just lift the gauze up to the composition you want it to dry, and it will hold its shape. Naturally, if you then add metal embellishments, let's say on top, then it's not going to hold that, but it will keep its shape nicely and kind of lose its fluffiness. It turns into something more rigid, more edgy. Like in the first tag, I was toning down the contrast using white gesso, but if you truly want a unified or unicolor surface, then black gesso is your thing because it has such a pigment, at least the ones I've come across, that you need just one layer, and no matter if you have red or yellow or even neon pink, all will be black, and you have this surface you can then color the way you want. So for example, in this tag, you can see there's metal embellishments, there's paper flowers, there's plastic buttons, all of different colors. And by just simply adding the layer of gesso on top, I have a surface I can then color the way I want. And last but not least, I'm doing splashes again. I hope you have enjoyed the series. If you have, please consider subscribing. And if you want to be notified when a new video comes up, please hit that bell sign. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye!